Hello, my name is George Lockhart, and this is my lesson plan based on my three cohorts, Beverly Perkins, Daniel Champagne, and Sharon Stanfield. Beverly's reflection and examination on the genital human papillomavirus, also called HPV, is the most common sexually transmitted infection. There are more than 40 HPV types that can infect the genital areas of males and females. These HPV types can also infect the mouth and the throat. Most people who become infected with HPV do not even know why they have it. HPV is not the same as herpes or HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. These are all viruses that can be passed on during sex but cause different symptoms and health problems. The objective of my lesson plan is to have students read a weblog they found online within the classroom regarding Beverly, who breaks free by confiding in a weblog or blog after being trapped by her condition for 19 years. She contracted HPV at 15 and is now 34. Only a few people are aware of her condition, including her husband, who uses it against her at his will. But she feels liberated through the conversation with others on her blog. The class will discuss and examine Beverly's fight to deal with HPV for the last 19 years and how it has affected her life. The anticipatory set. Students will be asked to write 10 facts that teenagers may encounter as they migrate into their teen years and exploring their sexuality. They will be able to discuss and compare. Teacher input. The teacher will give them a copy of the article for them to read and discuss facts about an HPV virus. The teacher will model by having the groups of four to discuss the change in Beverly's life at 15. Then she will have them write the facts found in the article about the virus. Guided practice. The teachers will have the boys and girls discuss the differences of the facts of viruses, how it affects females, and how it affects males. The independent practice. Students will join Beverly's blog explaining the impact on their lives by her contracting the virus. The facts about HPV will be shared on the blog and how they are more educated because of her information in the blog and the facts about HPV. And in conclusion, the teacher will discuss all of the information and have the roundabout table discussion concerning the article and the web blog and the students' views about how they can avoid such things in the future. Next is my lesson plan for Sharon Stanfield. Bloom's taxonomy is a classification of learning objectives within education proposed in 1956 by a committee of educators chaired by Benjamin Bloom, who also edited the first volume of the standard text, Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, the Classification of Educational Goals. The strategy for the class is to unveil Bloom's taxonomy. That would include recall, understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. The objective is to teach third graders Bloom's taxonomy through the story of Goldilocks. After hearing the story, students will recant everything they remember about the story and how it is similar in their everyday life. The teacher input will draw on the board Bloom's taxonomy to students, then model by having the students pair up and have them discuss the teacher's new information versus what they missed during their initial feedback to the teacher. The guided practice will involve the boys and the girls in the discussion of the model in comparison with another novel discussed recently. The independent practice will involve students will memorize Bloom's taxonomy. In the closure, teacher will discuss all of the information and have a roundtable discussion concerning the article and the students' views. The taxonomy will include the remembering of the story, describe where Goldilocks lived, understand, summarize what Goldilocks' story was about, apply, construct a theory as to why Goldilocks went into the house, analyze, differentiate between how Goldilocks reacted and how you would react in each story event, evaluate, assess whether or not you think this really happened to Goldilocks, and create. Compose a song, a skit, poem, or a rap to convey the Goldilocks story in a new form. Finally, lesson plan for Danielle Champagne. Her topic is concept attainment. Concept attainment is a simple group learning technique that helps you achieve a consistent understanding of important concepts and ideas. It is particularly powerful where team members' judgment plays a large role in how they respond or make decisions, and where consistency is important across your teams. By discussing examples and individual attributes of the issue being discussed, You can help your team gain a deeper and unified understanding of the issues they face so that they solve problems in a similar, effective way. Description of the lesson. 8th grade students in a social studies class are introduced to a historical fiction novel entitled Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or The Lightning Thief. It is the first novel in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which charts the adventures of modern-day 12-year-old Percy Jackson as he discovers he is a demigod, the son of a mortal woman and of the Roman god Poseidon. Percy and his friends go on a quest to prevent a war between the Roman gods Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. The objective of the lesson: the teacher will engage students in conversations about what it's like to be a demigod. Students will discuss what they have learned about Rome and their cultural view on gods. This prior knowledge makes the subsequent sections on Roman society more interesting. The anticipatory set: the teacher will begin conversations about the influences of Roman culture on today's society. Have each student to copy the heading from the board entitled, "How are the planets named after Roman gods?" 2. The teacher will then break the thoughts down into the following categories. Students must place their thoughts under their appropriate category: the origin of each god, their powers, their weaknesses, the contribution to mankind, if any, and which is your favorite and why. The teacher will read chapter 1 to students as they read silently. Periodically, he or she will stop to focus on the concept of the story about the impacts on today's society. The teacher will model when they will write each Roman god's name on the board and 5 facts about the character and particular impact on the parts of the world. This is significantly important as the consistent understanding of important concepts and ideas are formed. For example, Mars is named after the god of war. The planet itself is red. The planet Mercury is named after Mercury, the messenger of the gods. The planet is named for its mercurial properties as it speeds around the sun faster than any other planet. Thus, concept attainment has been achieved. The guided practice includes students will read chapter 2 alone. The concept for chapter 2 would be the history of the gods. In the story, the main character, Percy, developed friends in his quest to save his mother. They encounter obstacles along the way. How do the obstacles help this friendship? The independent practice includes the students will partner up and they will read together chapter 3. They will select a concept in which they want to present to the class. Example: the Roman bathtub, Senate, law, and theater, all influences by Rome. They will write 2 or 3 paragraphs explaining how the concept enhanced the story and the characters in the chapter reacted to the concept. In conclusion, the teacher will discuss all the concepts from the chapters. He or she will have the students select one concept and write a paper on their opinion and their experiences with the concept. This concludes my lesson plan study for each of my cohorts, and thank you for listening.